A new One Piece chapter has came out, chapter 1112, and it took 3 weeks since the last chapter, chapter 1111, and for anyone who doesn't know what happened in it, here's the quick rundown. Luffy fought the 5 elders and was holding his own against them with the giants. Zoro defeated Rob Lucci, and at the end, he made a run for it to the ship. This is the gist of it. If you want to know everything that happened, I recommend watching that or reading that chapter. But nonetheless, we have a new chapter now. A new chapter that dives more into this stuff and dives into an unknown person who comes and faces one of the 5 elders, Mars. Chapter 1112, Hard Aspect. The Buster Call has begun on the Egghead Island, with all of the warships launching their attacks at the pacifistas in the island, and we can see how many have fallen. One of the 5 elders, the swordsman Nuzjuru, is looking for Bonnie. She has the power to destroy countries because she can control the pacifistas, a command that Vegapunk gave her. They're all hurrying to the ship with the giants, while the battleships are just launching their attacks at it. They don't wanna let them sail. Frankie and the others are fighting the vice admirals, who are trying to block them, to not let them go on the ship. Bonnie gives Kuma to one of the giants, while she fights on, and actually is beating vice admirals. The vice admirals don't refer to Kuma as a human, they refer to him as a weapon. You can see the dehumanization that they bestowed upon Kuma. While the fight rages on in the lab, we can see the transmission of Vegapunk still ongoing, while we see one of the 5 elders, Mars, is in there with York. He asks if this is the rule of the transmission. She says it was recorded here. He doesn't let her finish the sentence and fires at the lab, destroying it. But York knows it won't work. They don't have time, but destroying this lab won't work. She says if I were Stella, meaning Vegapunk, I would hide the streaming transponder snail somewhere else. The Elder wants to destroy the whole lab, but she says it's pointless. On Tower C, all of the gas is lined up. If they destroy it, the whole lab will be destroyed. She tells him that she will destroy it no matter what. And the Elder hears a voice of a small creature in the Punk records. Maybe it's the transponder snail, he says. York replies with, the transponder snail looks like a triangle-shaped shell. He tells her, show me then. Show me the entryway. He goes with her to the location of it, and this interaction, and when he arrives, will pair with it many secrets. Somewhere else in the lab, we can see Kaku and Stussy are actually alive. They made it. Kaku is intact. Like in the last chapter, Rob Lucci wanted the Elder to spare him, and he's still alive. They don't know what's going on, but they know that that creature is bad news. Maybe they abandoned her, but she decided to stay on her own. Someone has to take responsibility for this final mission. The Peridome is still intact, but it will come down as soon as the ship leaves. And on the ship, we can see that they're a bit nervous. If the ship falls down and doesn't hit the water, there's 100% chance it will be destroyed. So they're gonna get everyone back and use a Copti purse to make it off. Once Zoro and Luffy are there, they're gonna leave immediately. Edison, one of the Stellas, is impressed with them of how much they care and their observations, so he's gonna help. He will make sure the ship hits the water without fail. Have faith in him as he leaves the barrier. On another side of the Egghead Island, the fight between Luffy and the other elders is still ongoing, with the worm sucking up everything in its path. Even marines, trees, everything in its path is being destroyed and swallowed by it. Luffy, seeing this and struggling, takes a building and throws it right at the worm, blocking its mouth. And it works because everything he touches becomes like rubber, and it becomes in his Gear 5 form. That's why it's not easily destroyed. And this stops the worm for a bit. But also Luffy turns back to normal. Not even normal, he's old since he lost a lot of energy. So he starts eating this thin a fermented shark which gives him instantly his powers back. So just like a Shinzupin from Dragon Ball. But it doesn't stop there. The giant paw goes for them. So Luffy transforms to Gear 3 and attacks the paw from above it. But rather than hurting it, Luffy himself gets hurt while the paw is just fine. Though this is not the only trouble that they're facing. Back in the lab with Nami, Chopper and Usopp, Saturn arrives, and in the northeastern shore in front of Bonnie and Frankie, Nuzjuro, the swordsman of the Five Elders, arrives to them. And I'm just predicting this now. I feel like he's gonna fight Zoro since they're both swordsmen. And in all honesty, I don't see how the other Straw Hats can hold their own against them except Luffy and Sanji. But they're nowhere to be seen for now. It doesn't end here. And this is the cherry on top, the thing that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. In the Punk Records, we see that Mars have arrived there. He walks up to the transponder snail. So this is it. You just can't catch a break, Vegapunk. But as he looks above him, he's shocked. Something caught his eyes. Something that made him less nervous. And this thing could be a lot of things. But either it's Dragon, which I highly doubt. I don't think he made it this way. Or something to do with what happened at the end of the last chapter. With the giant robot that has awakened and said, "I'm sorry, Joy Boy." I think it's something with him. If I'm dreaming, want something to happen, I really want to see Dragon. I really want him to be Dragon. That Dragon is there or something to do with him. Since from the beginning of this arc, Dragon played a major role in it. He was Vegapunk's friend. He's Kuma's friend and Luffy's father. And he's not doing anything to help them. Not doing anything against the elders, against what they did to Lullaby. Nothing has been done by him. So I feel like it should be him. But it also could be a giant robot or a secret that Vegapunk reveals in there. I hope it's Dragon. I really hope so. And yeah, this is where this chapter ends. Another chapter will release next week, but we've seen Luffy's fight against the elders and how Mars saved Yor, that in doing so discovered something that shocked him. This is where our chapter ends for now. Tell me, what do you all think? What do you all think about the story this far? If I'm being honest, it's a great story, but my one gripe with it is everything happens too fast. Like One Piece's issue was always that things happen too slowly, but now it's too fast. Like the elders' powers and their fights are just thrown in there so fast that you can't actually appreciate their powers. I just feel it's a bit rushed. I think they should expand more on the elders, and I hope they do that in the next chapters. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and saying that, I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.